Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. The fact that you are willing to sacrifice a few minutes out of your day to consume my content really does mean the world to me. So for those of you that are not aware, I love movies and I focus on movie reviews, but I also tend to have discussions just like this. So if you're someone who loves movies, then why not give my channel a chance? It would mean the world to me if you did subscribe. And guys, today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who, which I've had such a turbulent relationship with over the last little bit. And I know a lot of Whovians have as well. But I've really been keeping up to date with the latest season, and you can actually check out my past reviews on those. My reviews for episode 1 and 2 are up now. The link is down in the description below, and I'm fairly certain one of those cards has popped up. But guys, I really want to talk about the current state of Doctor Who, because as I mentioned, it has been a very turbulent time. And I know a lot of fans have fallen off in recent years, but I think now is a fantastic time to jump back onto the bandwagon. And I know I've surprised a lot of people with that statement. But yes, guys, we had a mixed reception to the 3 Christmas specials with David Tennant. A lot of fans had it in the highest anticipation and were somewhat disappointed. I found myself enjoying them, but I can see why many fans were disappointed. But we are now 4 episodes into season 1 of the Disney Plus BBC era of Doctor Who, and I'm finding myself really enjoying it. So let's talk about why. So yes, guys, we are 4 episodes in, if you include the Christmas special, Miracle on Ruby Street, which I thought was exciting and it had a very nice Christmas feel to it. And so I found myself enjoying it. And then we had Space Babies, which was such a wacky, weird concept, but I enjoyed it. And then we had The Devil's Chord with some amazing performances from the cast. And then we just had Boom, which was one of the best episodes of Doctor Who I have seen in a very long time. If you want to know my thoughts on the first 2 episodes, again, you can check out my reviews there. I'm going to talk about Boom for a little bit in this episode because I haven't done an official reaction to Boom, but it was great. So if you want to skip my episode 3 Boom review, then you can click on the time code on screen now. But I just want to take this opportunity to talk about Boom for a little bit, and then we'll talk about the current state of Doctor Who as a whole. So yes, guys, episode 3, Boom. Wow. The last time I have felt this tense or nervous while watching an episode of Doctor Who was in season 4, the episode Midnight with David Tennant, when he's trapped on that train with the entity. Tense. And that feeling is sort of re-experienced here. The Doctor in many ways is powerless. And I enjoy episodes where the Doctor seems to be just another person who's run out of ideas. He's at the end of his rope, because we really get to see his true character come to life. And this is just me personally, but it reminded me a lot of the Davros episodes on the battlefield where Davros is a little kid and Peter Capaldi's busy talking to him. Very similar, look and feel with the mist and the battlefield, the mines everywhere. I enjoyed that. And then, again, sorry, this is something I know no one else will probably care about except for me, but there's a sequence where the Doctor is singing the Skyboat song, which I understand is it's like an actual song, but they use it in Outlander, and Outlander is one of my favorite shows. So to see the Doctor reference one of my favorite shows, I thought was just amazing. And the fact that both shows are also time travel based really made my little heart happy. So if there's anyone who's an Outlander and Doctor Who fan, I'm fairly certain they loved that reference. But then finally, I think we saw a very different side of the Doctor in this episode. Ncuti Gatwa is amazing. He's genuinely fantastic as the Doctor. But we saw him caring. It's been a long time since we've seen the Doctor genuinely, properly care about people. And this episode kicks off with him running out the TARDIS because he heard a scream. There is a personal desire for him to save people that we saw in this episode. And we saw true fear. Those were tears of fear when he thought he was going to die. Brilliant acting and truly emotional. I loved it. So yes, guys, that was my brief little breakdown of my episode 3 thoughts and feelings. But let's talk about Doctor Who as a whole. As I just mentioned, Ncuti Gatwa is amazing. I have loved every single performance he's given as the Doctor, and I understand some people might still need to warm up to him. It used to take me a long time to warm up to new Doctors once a regeneration happened. I mean, I'm fairly certain I had to watch season 5 3 times before I started to like Matt Smith, because I was just so attached to David Tennant. And the same thing happened with Peter Capaldi. But Ncuti Gatwa is the first Doctor where I enjoyed him from episode 1, and there was no real desire to have to detach from the previous Doctor. And maybe it's because we only had David back for 3 episodes, but Ncuti Gatwa has really taken this role and made it his own. But I love his youthful energy. It reminds me a lot of Matt Smith. And he also has the ability to get serious like Christopher Eccleston did. as well as Peter Capaldi. Like, there's many different shades of all of the different doctors, but he is something completely different. He's so incredibly unique and unlike anything that's come before. The only thing I don't like about his doctor, and it's such a shallow thing, is he doesn't have a fixed costume. Like, when you think of Christopher Eccleston, you go, oh, cool, you know, leather jacket. You think of Tom Baker, you think long scarf. There's none of that with Ncuti Gatwa, unfortunately. But his performance is brilliant. And thankfully, Ruby Sunday does a great job as a companion to really build up the Doctor. She reminds me a lot of Rose Tyler. And they serve many of the same functions, because when Doctor Who restarted in 2005, we needed a companion like Rose to really reintroduce the audience to the Doctor and his world. Ruby does the exact same thing with this new, Disney Plus reboot. Something I've also noticed and really enjoyed is just the fact that every single episode feels completely different. It's a Russell T Davies flair that I really like, is that every episode feels so different. And tonally, sometimes the shows would just do this. I mean, just think, in one season you had stories like, The Family of Blood and Blink, and then you had The Absorbaloff. Like, come on. But that very same premise is present in this season. I mean, we've just had Boom, which was a terrific episode, edge of my seat, tense, emotional. And then we have Space Babies, which is just wacky. So if you enjoyed that early era of Doctor Who where the tone just did this, because every episode was truly an adventure, you're going to experience that with the season as well. But that comes with the typical Russell T Davies silliness. As I mentioned in my Space Babies review, if you don't like space farts, it was present in 2005, it's present here. You're going to have to deal with it. But I think the big issue, and so that's kind of why I've left it to the end, and I'm going to probably surprise a lot of people about this, but it's in regard to the political correctness of the show. Now, if you've seen my previous videos, like I did with, The Lord of the Rings, as well as The Sandman, you'll know that I'm not a fan of sacrificing story for politics. And many people have been saying that's exactly what Doctor Who's doing. I disagree. I completely disagree. And I can see why people think that is the case if they watched the 3 holiday specials with David Tennant. Because let's be honest, we were all so excited to see David Tennant back. And one of the first things that happens to him is he gets berated for assuming an alien's gender, which has never been a problem before. And then, of course, we have all of the jokes at his expense in regard to, Rose and Donna just belittling him, saying that as a male-presenting Time Lord, he doesn't understand certain things. As fans, you're like, why the hell is my favorite Doctor being spoken down to? Just to make a political statement. But what's been so great with Ncuti Gatwa, and I understand, like, I'm treading dangerous water here because I'm probably upsetting people on both sides. It's a good thing I'm from South Africa where we don't have a political right or left. I mean, we've got tons of different political parties and we've got tons of different political identities, and everyone has their own thoughts and feelings about everything. We're not just, resigned to right or left, which is something I love about our country. But I understand I'm treading on very dangerous water with what I'm talking about. So I'm just being very blunt and open and honest because this is how I feel. But the writing is so intelligent for this current season that you never once feel like you're being talked down to or belittled. They are stating an opinion or a fact, and you've just got to roll with it. I mean, to be 100% honest, I think the writing and the performances in the show have been great. There was a lot of pushback when the Maestro was cast. The performance was brilliant. That wasn't a diversity hire. You can't possibly watch that performance and not say it was actually great. And it fits the character perfectly because this is a deity that isn't limited by our physical bodies. Like, that makes sense. The casting there does make sense. It's not a simple diversity hire. It's brilliant acting that also serves the story. Moving on from that, Space Babies had a great sequence where I was like, that is good writing. Where the Space Babies basically had this identity crisis where they realize they aren't aging the way they're supposed to. And there's this line where they're like, is there something wrong with our bodies? And you sympathize with the Space Babies. You go, wow, like, they don't like what they're trapped in. And then you think, oh, snap, I see what they did there. That's an allegory for something else. That's clever writing because it introduces a topic or a thought without just slapping you across the face with it, which is what happened with the Doctor Who specials and with the Jodie Whittaker series. And so the writing is brilliant here because that's what, in many ways, shapes and forms, film is about. It's about offering an opinion on something. And the viewer has to take that opinion and digest it and think about it. Viewers don't enjoy it when we're told how we're supposed to feel. We want to be able to make up our own opinion about it. And that's what this season is doing. So look, guys, I know I've probably upset a lot of people with this video, and I want to know your thoughts and feelings. So comment them down below. Let me know if I'm talking out of my bum. Let me know if you think what I'm saying actually makes sense. But I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions as well. So please comment down below. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you're going to give it a thumbs down. I can't stop you. But guys, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to just watch my content. It really does mean the world to me. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys again in another review.